Why submarines go completely silent to survive somewhere underwater right now. A submarine crew has shut off the engines, stopped talking, and is standing completely still, not because anything broke, but because a single sound at the wrong moment is the difference between staying invisible and being found. It's called silent running, and it's not a myth from a war movie, it's a real standing procedure. When a submarine's captain orders it, the crew shuts down every system that isn't essential. Non-essential personnel go to their bunks. Talking stops. Even walking changes. Crew are trained to move deliberately because a dropped tool or a slammed hatch can travel for miles underwater. Cooking stops too. Loud machinery, even something as ordinary as a running refrigeration compressor, can get switched off for hours at a time. On some submarines, crew members are told to avoid even opening heavy drawers or metal lockers quickly, because the clang of metal on metal carries further underwater than almost anything else on board. Here's why this matters so much. Submarines don't hide with darkness or camouflage. Water blocks light and radar almost completely within a few meters. Down there, the only thing that reliably travels long distances is sound, which means a submarine's biggest threat isn't being seen, it's being heard. And the systems built to hear them are older and more effective than most people realize. This entire cat-and-mouse game started over a century ago. During the First World War, navies began deploying hydrophones, underwater microphones, specifically to detect submarines by the noise of their engines and propellers. For the first time, a submarine's greatest advantage, being unseen, was being canceled out by something that could simply listen for it. Submarine crews adapted almost immediately. If sound was how they'd be found, then the only defense was making less of it. Silent running became standard doctrine, and it's been refined generation after generation ever since, through 2 world wars, the Cold War, and into today's nuclear submarine fleets, where detection technology has only gotten more sensitive. But here's the twist almost nobody talks about. Even after more than 100 years of engineering, the single loudest thing on most submarines still isn't the engine, the reactor, or the crew. It's something spinning quietly at the back of the boat, doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's the propeller. Specifically, a phenomenon called cavitation. As the propeller blades spin fast enough, they create tiny pockets of low pressure in the water around them, essentially tiny vacuum bubbles. When those bubbles collapse back in on themselves, they don't do it quietly. Each collapse produces a sharp burst of noise, and a fast-spinning propeller can produce thousands of these collapses every single second. This is why submarines are engineered to operate within very specific speed ranges bands where the propeller can turn without triggering that bubble collapse at all. Go faster than that threshold, and the sub becomes acoustically loud enough to be picked up from a significant distance, no matter how quiet everything else on board is being kept. It's a strange trade-off. The fastest way to get somewhere is often the loudest way to announce you're there. Engineers spent decades solving problems inside the hull: quieter reactors, better mounted engines, insulated compartments. But the breakthrough that mattered most had almost nothing to do with what was happening inside the boat. Modern submarines fight cavitation and internal noise with layers of design most people would never notice, even standing right next to one. Propellers are shaped, and in many designs shrouded and closed in a duct specifically to delay the onset of cavitation until much higher speeds than an open propeller could manage. Inside the hull, engines and machinery don't bolt directly to the frame. They sit on vibration, isolating mounts, essentially springs and dampers, so mechanical noise doesn't transfer straight into the metal hull and radiate out into open water like a drum being struck. Even the hull itself is often coated with sound-absorbing materials designed to trap noise rather than let it bounce back out toward listening sonar. Some of this quieting work happens long before a submarine ever touches water. Shipyards test individual components, pumps, generators, valves in isolation, measuring their exact noise signature before they're ever installed. If a part is too loud on its own, it gets redesigned before it becomes part of the boat at all. All of this exists for one reason, because the alternative to staying quiet isn't just detection. It's a choice submarines try to avoid ever having to make. Here's the trap almost nobody thinks about. A submarine has two ways to use sonar: passive, which means just listening, and active, which means sending out a sound pulse and reading the echo like a submarine's version of shouting into a cave to see how big it is. Active sonar works fast and gives a precise location. But it also does something dangerous. It announces exactly where the submarine broadcasting it is, to anyone within range who happens to be listening. Any nearby vessel using passive sonar can hear that pulse and instantly know where to look, no guesswork required. So in most real situations, submarines default to passive listening, patient, slower, and far less certain, because the moment they break silence to actively search, they've traded their single biggest advantage for a piece of information they may not have even needed yet. Passive listening isn't just pointing a microphone into open water. Either trained sonar operators learn to tell the difference between a whale, a merchant ship's engine, distant weather, and another submarine. Each one has its own acoustic signature, almost like a fingerprint. It's a skill that takes years to build, because the ocean is never actually silent. It's full of noise. The real challenge isn't hearing something. It's recognizing the one sound out of thousands that shouldn't be there. A submarine's silence isn't the absence of technology. It's the result of more than 100 years of engineering, all built around one simple idea. Down here, the ocean doesn't hide you. Silence does.